There's some interesting things happening on the Stellar chain, and I have to share it with you. One of them has to do with the amount of liquidity on the chain. We're talking paper company, ladies, and a stablecoin backed by gold. Say it ain't true? Well, it sounds like it's actually going to happen. And across the crypto market, TVLs are increasing, which means there's more confidence in protocols out there. Let's get into it, everyone. Que pasa, homeboys and homegirls? It's good to see you back on the block. Bitcoin sitting at 21,200, ETH 1575, XRP sitting at 38.8, and XLM sitting at 8.7, down 0.34% in the last 24 hours. Wait until you hear those juicy stats I got for you XLM Stellar fans. But first, Iran and Russia want to issue a new stablecoin backed by gold. The Central Bank of Iran is reportedly cooperating with the Russian government to jointly issue a new cryptocurrency backed by gold. Now, okay, let's talk about the different distinctions of stablecoins real quick, and then we'll get back into this. You've got the algorithmically based ones, which I wouldn't consider stablecoins. You've got the ones that are, fiat backed, which the government can mint like freaking crazy. And then you got this, stablecoins backed by gold. According to the Russian news agency Vedomosti, Iran is working with Russia to create a token of the Persian Gulf region that would serve as a payment method in foreign trade. The token is projected to be issued in the form of a stablecoin backed by gold, according to Alexander Brashnikov, executive director of the Russian Association of Crypto Industry and Blockchain. This stablecoin aims to enable cross-border transactions instead of fiat currencies like the US dollar, Russian ruble, or Iranian rial. The report notes that the potential cryptocurrency would operate in a special economic zone in Azerbaijan, where Russia started to accept Iranian cargo shipments. Political stuff aside, I like the idea of a stablecoin backed by something other than fiat, because think about that. What if the Fed goes crazy and just starts printing fiat? Wait a minute, haven't we heard this story before? That's right, and we saw what happened with inflation. But now something that's backed by gold, how freaking cool is that? Yep, and it doesn't matter whether you are a fan of what Russia does or doesn't. The idea of concepts of stablecoins backed by gold, that's juicy stuff, everyone. And now on to stats that are gonna make you feel pretty good about yourself. All right, DeFi begins recovery as TVL exceeds 45 billion. What's TVL? Total value locked. The amount of money that's gone in there, everyone. We're talking about liquidity pools. We're talking about DeFi protocols. Yeah, we'll get into liquidity pools here soon with Stellar stuff, you Stellar fans. DeFi TVL surges nearly 20%. According to data from DeFi Llama, DeFi TVL has exceeded 45 billion. Its highest point in the last 2 months. Are we erasing the damage from Sam Bankman Greed and FTX? Sure seems like it. Major DeFi protocols such as Lido Finance and MakerDAO played a significant role in the DeFi TVL rise. Lido has amassed double-digit gains over the past week, adding 8.4 billion to the DeFi ecosystem since its lower low late last year. Though the TVL rise appears to be mirroring the crypto rally, as of most of the underlying DeFi tokens have also followed suit in the bullish trend. One thing worth noting is that the DeFi TVL is still very far from its all-time high. Well, yeah, because that was when the markets were going hysterically crazy in 2021. And if you want the juicy stats, oh, I've got it for you right here. Because as always, any article you see in this video will be linked in the description below. Here's those stats from DeFi Llama that show, yes, the increase of TVL right here. Look at the start of 2023. You're looking at January 1st at 38.75 billion, with right now, at the time of publication and recording of this video, 45.47 billion. You could go over a whole bunch of things like volume, fees, all that kind of juicy goodness. Really great statistical resource here that I'm gonna share with you. 3 reasons why crypto could explode when key U.S. economic data lands on Wednesday. This week, investors and analysts will be looking forward to the release of the PPI, Producer Price Index, and retail sales data. They will not have as much strength, though, as CPI data. Keep that in mind. And UK CPI data is happening on Wednesday as well. That PPI measures the change in prices received by local producers for their products over time. On the flip side, the retail sales data would show the total sales of the value of the country's retail value. The data will be available on Wednesdays, with investors expecting a drop in both metrics thanks to reduced gasoline prices. Yes, this has enabled producers to reduce factory costs, and as production costs have decreased, producers have been able to adjust their prices, which then leads to the whole inflation CPI data thing, right? Think of all the products out there that you've seen fuel surcharges added to, right? That just adds to the base price of goods. And you know companies out there aren't keeping the costs internalized, they're passing them on to you, the consumer. So Wednesday is proving to be a very pivotal day in the market. But now onto the stellar juicy news and stats that I know you're gonna wanna hear. Check it out. What about Stellar's liquidity pools, right? The amount of money that are locked up in those projects that are a little bit down here up on the screen. Check it out, everyone. We have seen that it has been right around that 12.1, 12.5 million mark now for quite some time. Sam Bankman-Fried really screwed over the markets, but now check it out. We're going from 12.5 a week ago to now look at that 14.3 million. The key here though is to see the volume increasing here over the last week. Look at this. These are healthier numbers than what we've seen before. Just picking some random numbers here. December 26th, 78,000 in volume, 113,000 December 22nd, but look at some of these big bars, baby, 416,000 and 552,000 happening on January 14th. You want to explore the rest of these liquidity pools and see how much is locked up in there? You're welcome to do so, because this will be linked in the description below as well. But now onto the stellar stats I have to share with you. You might hear a little FUD out here about this, but I wouldn't worry, because there's going to be something more important that we're going to discuss. All right. Total number of accounts are down. We had a high of 7.45 million accounts. Now you have 7.1. That's a decrease of 300,000 plus accounts in a very short period of time. Not worried about that, okay? The majority of these counts hardly have anything in them, so I'm not worried about that. But what I am excited about is the number of daily active accounts. Look at the spike here from 51,000 to now 100,000. And let's zoom in just a little bit more so I could show you the juicy action, the deets behind the deets. So the blue bar right here, that's the total number of accounts. Like I said, went from 7.45 million down to 7.1 million in that short time period. But during that same time period, look at 48,000 accounts to boom, over 100,000 active accounts. Active accounts is going to be the most important factor you're going to see. What does it matter if you have 80 billion accounts out there that only own half a lumen? It doesn't do anything, right? But what if you had 40 million accounts that are active all the freaking time? That's the key, everyone, and that's the big stat that we have to focus on. And if we zoom out to the 1 year mark, that's the highest number we've seen in a year. And if we go to the all-time, no, we're not there at the all-time, because you guys know how crazy stuff was in the beginning, but we are definitely working our way on up, as we've seen now the highest number of active accounts in the last year. And if you want to stay up to date with the juicy action that's happening with Stellar at the World Economic Forum, because you know if something breaks, they're going to release it on Twitter first, and I'll be sure to share it with you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, because you know I won't. But anyway, Stellar posting actively on their Twitter account. Make sure you follow it, because if they've got something big launching at WEF in Davos, well, they're going to be launching it on Twitter first. It's just so juicy lately, and it's good juice too. I'm super excited to see that we've got Russia and Iran creating a stablecoin backed by gold. None of this funny money with the algorithmic stablecoins and the stablecoins based by fiat, of which governments can go money printer brr. We know what Jerome Powell and the Fed did, right? Which screwed us up inflation-wise. But I'd love to see more coins out there, stablecoins backed by hard assets like gold and silver. That would be awesome to see, because it's really, really hard to manipulate those compared to the fiat-based ones, and especially compared to the algorithmically based ones. I showed you the stat regarding TVL across the DeFi sector, as well as liquidity pools on Stellar, both getting some positive relief. It appears that people are thinking that the market as a whole has hit its bottom. Does that mean we're out of the darkness yet? No, of course not. We've still got a ways to go to climb back to levels where most of us would feel comfortable. But the idea here is that you're seeing more money dumped into these protocols and chains, which is leading a lot of us to believe that, hey, maybe the worst is behind us. What about those Stellar stats, huh? Active accounts going crazy, like I said. And what about those active accounts from Stellar? Way more important than creating the new accounts, which don't have any action in them. I would rather see more active accounts blowing up and blossoming, right, leading to more action, which you saw by the trading volume right through the liquidity pools, rather than just dormant accounts just sitting there not doing anything with their lumens, right? Especially considering that most of the accounts on the Stellar chain have hardly any lumens. Not too beaucoup, in fact, quite minuscule. Thank you very much for watching this video, and as more news breaks, you know I'll share it with you, because I'm the guy with the Stellar hat on. I'll leave you with this gem right here, crypto Web3 action tailored just for you. And in the meantime, I'm probably gonna chill out, and while I chill out, you cool cats, have a great rest of your day.